Alright, welcome folks. Looks like there is a Superman plot leak. It's not a full plot leak, it's sort of story beats. There is some information here that obviously is key spoilers. Not sure whether I believe a lot of this. And some of this doesn't sound particularly great. It sort of infantilizes Lex Luthor somewhat, which I think is a shame because he's a wicked villain. Wicked in all senses when done correctly. And I also think if you've got someone like Holt playing him, yeah, that's a crying shame if they are actually doing this, because he's a great actor and he's shown himself to be absolutely epic, and this could have been a really good role for him. But I'll get your opinion on this in a minute. You'll let me know what you think down below. So anyway, let's take a look. Please do hit subscribe, turn the bell notifications on. So yeah, Superman plot leak. Okay, big cameos, twist on Jor-El, several major story beats. And there are spoilers here. Like I said, there are spoilers here. So just click off the video if you don't want anything. But we don't know whether this is true or not. Okay, some of this seems to be... A lot of this could be true. And a lot of this mirrors and is expanded upon previous plot leaks. So there was a plot leak about Lex Luthor and another government and a war, and a lot of that was said to be sort of Middle Eastern, I think, at one point, and then they were going to change it around, and then it was inspired by Russia and Ukraine, and it was kind of all over the place. But that's been around for quite a while, that as a plot leak. So anyway, let's take a look. So obviously just take this with a pinch of salt. Okay, take it with a massive pinch of salt. But I think you guys will... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you'll think of this. Okay, so basically, Superman is taken to the Fortress of Solitude by Krypto and healed by the robots that protect it. Again, this is kind of like, these are just story beats, some plot elements. So I'm guessing that's kind of the part that we see in the trailer. Apparently, Lex Luthor hates Superman and partners with the government of a powerful foreign nation to help them take over a smaller country. Now that, I'm guessing, is why we see those purple and green outfitted soldiers, in the trailer. So I'm guessing it's that. Jimmy Olsen is portrayed like his comic book counterpart, but girls now fawn over him, and among them is Lex's girlfriend who has been sexting the photographer. Please don't have that as a plot point. That's lame. So apparently there is tension between Clark Kent and Lois Lane at the Daily Planet, particularly as he frequently gets interviews with Superman. However, we later learn it's a ruse, and they've actually been dating in secret for a few months. She playfully pretends to interview him in their apartment, but things get tense when they disagree over Superman's role in foreign policy. I could see that being a thing, genuinely. So Lex Luthor is responsible for releasing those monsters in Metropolis, but Supes gets a helping hand from the Justice League. I can see that being true as well. So there's that. Lex Luthor creates a clone of Superman and uses it to enter the Fortress of Solitude. I can believe that, because there have been a lot of reports about this Ultraman character being a Superman clone and then becoming Bizarro at the end of the movie. That's been a persistent rumor. So I can believe this, even if that's not the case, but I can believe that there's some element of this. So he also finds a corrupted message from Jor-El meant for Clark. It appears he sent Kal-El to Earth to conquer the planet. What? Although it is unclear whether this is taken out of context, and the villain, Lex Luthor, wastes no time in broadcasting this message to the world, making the Man of Steel an outcast. And then Clark obviously just returns to his human family. Now that, I guess, is why we see a lot of people hating on Superman in the trailer, maybe? This is the lame part. And I think this is really lame. Later in the movie, Lex Luthor sends Superman and Krypto into a pocket dimension where he traps people he hates, including his ex-girlfriends. I hate that. I think that is lame. That is like lame. Lex Luthor is that pathetic that he sends ex-girlfriends into a pocket dimension. If that is true, that is lame. Alright, I'm sorry. But I can also see, although I think it's lame on paper, I can also see how this would be played as a funny comedic element. But I don't think, personally, I don't think Lex Luthor should be played for comedy. Because I think Lex Luthor is a badass. Right? Like, he is a badass. And yeah, this sort of diminishes that on a fundamental level. So Jimmy's communication, he spots clues in the provocative photos he's been sent with the villain's current Bay, helps the League find and rescue the Kryptonian. Okay. So guessing the sexting stuff, she's sexting him from a different dimension? What? Anyway, whatever. So Superman earns people's trust back by saving lives and battling an invading army. The action is praised, and it sounds like Lex Luthor either escapes or is imprisoned. Superman returns to the Fortress of Solitude, where a drunk sorority version of Supergirl appears to reclaim Krypto after asking her cousin to watch him for the week. I didn't think they could get drunk. Can they get drunk? I didn't think they could get drunk. Superman sits back and asks the Fortress to show him his family. However, this time, in place of Jor-El, it's Ma and Pa Kent. I don't know. I don't know what I think of this. I think some of it's lame. Some of it could be good. This is a case of we'll have to wait and see. I really like the first trailer of this. So I'm willing to give it a chance. But we'll see. Who knows? We shall see. A lot of the reports have been very positive about this. Take or leave that with a pinch of salt. I mean, you know, whether you hear good or bad, it doesn't really make or break a movie. The test screenings are just that, aren't they? They're just test screenings. And 9 times out of 10, there's always positive and negatives about them. It's interesting, though, to hear from test screenings and also the first reviews. I do wonder when we'll get those first reviews. And I think one key element of this will be how close to the movie the embargo is. That will be a pretty telltale sign, I think, of whether this is a great movie or one to be a little bit cautious of and wait for some of the reviews to come out in full. Anyway, there you go. What do you guys think of this? Down below in the comment section. Leave your thoughts there. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.